Hey there, science and cooking class. Greg here, and I just wanted to quickly conceptually go over how to calculate the width of the shell when you did spherification. So this little shell formed when you did spherification, and I wanted to show you just conceptually how you get the width here of the shell, which I'll call L, from the calculations that you did. So you measured the radius of your sphere, and you measured the mass of the sphere, and then you also measured the mass of the deflated sphere after you took the liquid out. So let's call the mass of the deflated sphere M2. Call the mass of the sphere, the original sphere, MS, and let's say this is like say 5 grams, and the radius is 2 centimeters. And what we're trying to figure out is L, so we don't know the width here of the shell. So that's question mark. And so how do you figure out what L is? Well, let's see what equations we have. We have the volume of a sphere, which is 4/3 pi r cubed, and the volume of a spherical shell that's pretty thin and has a radius r is 4 pi r squared L, where L is the width. And so we're trying to find L. So what information do we have? So we have, oh, and let's just choose M2 to be 1 gram. Okay, so let's just write out this equation with the information that we have. So we have V of the shell is equal to 4 pi, and then R we said is 2 centimeters, so this is going to be 4 centimeters squared, and then L. And so if we knew what V was over here, then we could figure out L, because there's only 2 unknowns here. And so how can we figure out the volume of the shell? Well, we know that the volume of the entire sphere, this entire sphere, has a volume that's equal to the volume of just the inside here, volume of the inside, plus the volume of the shell. So we could figure out V shell if we knew these two. And so we know this one because we can use the equation I showed you here for the volume of a sphere. So this is just 4/3 pi, and then we had 2 centimeters, so this is going to be 8 centimeters cubed. And so that's what our volume is for the entire thing. And so the question is, how do we figure out V in? Well, that's the inside here of this thing, the liquid that we took out. And well, so we can look at the difference of the shell and the mass of the whole thing, and we can figure out what the mass of this volume is. And so we know that it's going to be the mass related to this is going to be equal to 4 grams. Now, if we know the density, we have a relation that gives us a relation between the volume and the mass. So the density is equal to mass over volume of the inside. And so now we know that the volume of the inside is equal to mass over density, and you use a density of water here. And so we know that we know this M is 4 grams, and we know this density is rho density of water. And so now we know what V in is. And so we can put this into our equation up here, and we know this V, we know V in, and so we can calculate V shell. And then, since we know V shell, we can look back at this equation up here for the volume of the shell and how it relates to L, and just move some of the numbers around, and you can figure out the width of the shell. I hope that was really helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Again, it's Greg, and have a great day.